Hey, Joe here. I'm the custodian at ignitiondiecast.com, but this channel is mostly a video diary of my personal collecting, hijinks, successes, failures. Walk with me now as I open and talk about cars, trucks, and sometimes even action figures. I usually interject some sassy Gen X commentary about the hobby, tales from the toy aisle, and society itself. So be sure to like, subscribe, share, and definitely comment. Your opinion matters. Good morning, Diecast people. It's Show and Tell Sunday, and I'm going to show you some stuff. I'm going to keep this kind of short because I'm a little burned out on making videos and stuff. And some days I always phone it in. I mean, these videos suck, but usually I enjoy putting my mug in front of the camera. This morning I'm not so much into it, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know you look forward to it so much. Somebody asked, Roger in fact, that I do a slightly deeper dive into the Dixie Challenger and Roger Dodger, but it goes back further than that. So let me give you a little overview of what I've learned. The accuracy here, you should probably verify. Trust but verify. So let me review. And I took a couple of notes because this is some complicated stuff. So there was a car called the bifocal, B-Y-E focal, kind of a play on words with the bifocal glasses, but it's B-Y-E, like bye-bye, because it's so fast. And that car only came out in 71. It was a long car like this, similar body. They call it related, but it's not the same casting. And I don't have any, so I don't have one to show you. But it had a long hood that had an exposed engine, but a glass, like a clear hood. And it was based on the 70 Dodge Challenger, and only came out in 1971. That was like the only year that they released the bifocal. And I actually have what's called the bifocal 2, but this came out much later, and it's not nearly as cool or as rare. So here's the bifocal 2, but I don't actually have any bifocals to show you. So that only came out in 71 and was deleted, like they stopped. And it came in Spectre Flame paint jobs too, which is worth mentioning. But then in 73 they came out with this car called the Show Off, which was kind of I think it was a modified tooling. It wasn't the same exact tooling as the bifocal, but that one only came out in 73, and it was the same car basically, except it didn't have a clear hood. It had no hood at all. Like the engine was completely exposed. And they dropped the Spectre Flame paint job thing. It came with like standard, regular enamel paint jobs. And that was only in 73. I don't have one of those either to show you. I don't even, like, all of these cars that I'm going to talk about had reissues that came out later on, like in the 2000s, but they don't count. And I also, if I had them, I would show them to you, but I don't. So then came the Roger Dodger, which, here's one. I don't have any really, really old ones, but as you can see, it's very similar body to the Dixie Challenger. It even has a little louvered window, slotted window thing going on there. But the original Roger Dodger came out in 74, and apparently, I've never seen one, but it shared the same base as the Show Off. And on some of the early ones, you can even faintly see where they kind of covered up the Show Off name. But again, I've never seen one. I don't have any really, really old Roger Dodgers. So it began in 74, but carried on. They never really deleted. They never really stopped making the Roger Dodger. This one's from a few years ago, and we got the leap year one a couple years ago, and like the white one. The Roger Dodger's not that rare, and it's a very popular casting. It's one of the most popular Hot Wheels of all time, like the Twin Mill and the Bone Shaker. It's like famous, and they use it in a lot of artwork too. And then in 81 came the Dixie Challenger, which was the same exact body. It was a new casting. It's not in no way the same casting, it's just related. So it's similar casting, and it debuted in 81. Yesterday I said I was 10. I was because I was born in 70, so in 1980 it would have been 10. This actually didn't come around until 81, so it must have been 11. And that's when Dougie probably got one in 81, and I missed it. And then I was jealous for as long as I was his neighbor, as long as we were young enough to play with Hot Wheels. But this one with the forbidden flag is the Hong Kong version. Came out in 81 and 82 with the forbidden flag, and this one, which I got a couple years ago, is the Hong Kong version. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a little beat up. It's vintage. It's got playwear. And the one that I showed you yesterday, which I said was a Leo, is not necessarily a Leo. The Leo Hot Wheels came with this U stripe on the roof with no flag, but they also released this in the United States. So in 83, I believe this is a US 83 model, because it has blue tint windows, which you can kind of only slightly make out because it's so scratched, and it has a raised Malaysia stamp on the bottom. So there was a flat Malaysia version and a raised Malaysia version in 83. So this is probably an 83 US regular old Mattel version, also with playwear. And they continued to make the Dixie Challenger until 86. And the later versions, obviously, the first year, 81 and 80, first 2 years, 81 and 82, I had the Rebel flag, and then they dropped that. And there's like a Mexican version from 86 that had the flag, had that, like the X, but it was missing the stars. It's kind of complicated. And then they just switched the name later on in the 2000s to Dodge Challenger, and came out in all kinds of different colors and stuff. Much less interesting. But the bifocal, the show off, the Roger Dodger, and the Dixie Challenger are all related cars, and they have a little bit of overlap, but all separate toolings. And those the first three, the bifocal, the show off, and the Roger Dodger, or the bifocal and show off, were very short lived. They only made them for 1 year, so they're very rare and super collectible. The Roger Dodger has a long legacy. It debuted in 74, but they still make it. And the Dixie Challenger lasted from 81 to about 86, and then the name was changed. And like I said, all of these cars have like reissue versions, which are a little less interesting. So that's everything I know about those 4 cars. There's probably more to know. Like the Roger Dodger's been retooled numerous times. So there's the original one, and then it was retooled a few times. And yeah, the bifocal too, which is cool. It's oldish, but it's not a real bifocal. So someday maybe I'll own one of those. So that's that section. The only other thing I have to show you is this shelving unit full of jammer cases, Kids Lane 48 slots. Let me show you that. So this is almost filled now. I have room for one more, and there will be 28 cases, which hold 48. So that's a total of 1,344 cars, which will be stored in this compact little area over here. Pretty excited about that. Well, excited? I don't know. I'm pretty pleased that I put that together. And what else is new? Oh, 4 new Plano, 5 new, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new Plano cases. I think had this 65 Mustang fastback case for a while. The 67 Ford Mustang Coupe case has been established, but these other four I established fairly recently. So I have this little 6 Plano case area for dedicated to just Mustangs. And there are definitely Mustangs over here too. And there's my Mustang wall. So of unsorted, just kind of miscellaneous Stangs. But that's show off Sunday, show and tell Sunday, and you know what tomorrow is, so talk to you then.